stuck in debt and searching for an exit strategy? Well, look no more. In this video, Rich Dad, Poor Dad author Robert Kiyosaki comes in to talk about steps one needs to take in order to get out of debt and begin the process of real wealth creation. Stay tuned and find strategies that worked for him and his wife, Kim. This is the advice you have to take control of your money and your future. If you are interested in this topic, then please comment with 100. Just comment on 100. When I see your comment, I will give you a heart. And if you will want to help the channel, please put a like and subscribe. It takes less than a second and does so much for this channel. We've got loads of inspiring content coming your way, full of tips to help you live a more successful and fulfilling life. Let's get started. Robert Kiyosaki starts by sharing his own story of being in debt. Kim and I have been married for over 30 years, but we started from scratch. People think she married me because of my money, but that's not true. At that time, I was in between businesses. My second venture went down. So not only did I not have any money, but we had a lot of debt. We had $800,000 of debts, which was quite a big learning experience. Of course, we finally paid all those off, but the lesson learned stays right there. How can you pay off your debts as fast as possible? Many people will tell you to cut up your credit cards, but I think that's ridiculous because a credit card isn't the issue. Indeed, I love credit cards. Let me get started with the steps to get out of debt. First of all, be honest with yourself. This was one of the hardest things I had to do because Kim had never had such a financial catastrophe happen like what happened with me. She couldn't believe that someone could be driving a Mercedes and be broke. Just act like you're rich until you are. I was praying to God the money would come, acting like I ain't owe nobody nothing. I looked great and I ate at the best restaurants, but I was ruined. You can lie to your girlfriends, but you can't lie to your wife. So the very first thing I did with Kim was to come clean, tell the truth finally, that I wasn't as rich as I seemed. You have to tell yourself the truth, because if you have a goal of where you want to get to, you won't get there if you don't know where you are. If you're ready to get honest with yourself, drop a comment below and say honesty is the first step. The second step to get out of debt: stop taking loans you cannot pay immediately. Sometimes this involves making a small sacrifice. When Kim and I moved from Hawaii to California, we had no home. We lived in somebody's apartment basement. Sometimes we scrapped by because we didn't have money. Kim had just a few dollars to survive the weekend when I finally came home Sunday evening. If you agree that avoiding loans which cannot be repaid is critical to growth, then leave a comment: stop the loan, start the growth. The third step in managing your money is listing down all your debts. The operative word here is all. When I said the word all, Kim looked at me strangely because I had so many debts and didn't want to admit it. I kept avoiding it, making a payment here or there, until she asked me finally why I didn't want to admit the situation was really bad. I called my last business and finally sat down, wrote letters to every investor that I owed money to, all the family and friends who had lent me money. I felt guilty about not being able to pay these people back sooner, so she made me sit down and write it all out. Well, when you don't pay them, a credit card company can get pretty nasty, so I had to show the letters that were coming in. Basically, it was a matter of telling the truth and confronting it. I encourage you to comment if you ever had a big problem with debts or somebody you know did. Share your story. Your experience can help those in need. If you believe in facing all your debts, drop a comment saying face your debts, find your freedom. This fourth step is very important if you're deeply in debt. I once tried to do my records myself, but when I was at the height of stress, shame, and upset because of owing so much money, I didn't really confront it and wasn't very detailed. So Kim and I finally went to see my rich dad, and he advised us to hire an accountant. My first impression was that it was too costly, but my rich dad said that rich people have accountants while poor people do not keep good records. This is the fifth step, and after getting the list of all your debts, you will therefore draw a pictorial presentation of these debts. To effectively manage and record your debts in an Excel spreadsheet or notebook, write down each creditor, the total amount owed, and what each wants per month for a minimum payment. Write all of your debts down on paper. On the document, make clear the name of the creditor. Show the total amount owed. State the minimum monthly payment and how many months it will take to pay off each debt by dividing the total amount owed by that minimum payment. Check this list daily to keep yourself updated about the progress, and it will help in boosting your motivation. Keep detailed records of the payments and change your plan if needed. If you are regular in this, your commitment towards this repayment plan will surely make you debt-free and stable in your financial life. You must also check your record for clarity of everything. Now, if you're enjoying the content so far, please click that like button. And if you're new here, please do subscribe to the channel and help us hit 100,000 subscribers. We're heading there, guys. Can I get your help with that? If you've already subscribed, just comment down below "I subscribed." Just go ahead and comment "I subscribed." Thank you for doing that. Now that you've commented, let's continue. When Kim and I first met, we had very little. It took 10 years to go from nothing to rich. She was 37 and I was 47. That is the power of focusing your attention on assets, not liabilities. Most people are too busy working for money, trying to pay their bills, and buying liabilities they think are assets. The first gift I ever gave Kim was to teach her this, and now we're financially free. Anybody can do it. It's a matter of putting your head in the right direction. We met in '73, and that's when I took my first real estate investment course. I lost money and gained it back, but I never left the assets. There are so many people who just can't earn $1,000, and the reason is this: mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, they're just not prepared to earn that amount. So Kim and I may be earning several million bucks, but we wouldn't have gotten there if we hadn't once had the struggle to get to the $11,000. So whenever we had a problem, we had to be bigger than the problem. Many people who have $1,000 problems won't fix the problem until they as a person, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically grow to become bigger than that $1,000. Step 6 is deciding which order you're going to pay them in. Just write down all of your debts, and next to each one, put a circular number in order from smallest to largest by total amount owed. Now, start with the debt marked with the lowest circular number, regardless of interest rates, and watch how quickly some easy wins will keep you going. Many are asked, but shouldn't I pay the highest interest debt first? I don't want to keep paying those with the higher interest rates, but in this formula, you really don't have to. What you want to see is a quick result that says this formula works. So we start with the short, easiest debt you can pay off quickly. That result, seeing it and knowing it, confirms that the formula does work, encourages you to keep going. That is why we start with the lowest number. As Kim says, it's not about the interest, it's about how quick you can liquidate. Now, take an average guy and he's got a job. Now he is making money. He then has his house he pays for, and that money is going to the bank in the form of a mortgage. This is not an asset because money is going out. It's something called a liability. Liability is defined as something that takes money out of your pocket. An asset is defined as something that puts money in your pocket. Now, if I have a property for rent, it puts money in my pocket. Assuming that I stay in the house, it becomes a liability because even if there are no debts, there are always taxes, depreciation, repairs, maintenance, insurance, all these. But when I rent out a property and do a good job in buying and structuring it, it is working every month and sending me money. I started this when I was 25. I had a little condo property that put $25 in my pocket. Well, it was a start and a good debt. You know, the debt gets paid and cleared, and at the same time it puts $25 in your pocket, so you're making money off your little house every month. My wife and I have 6,500 houses today sucking money into our pocket every month. Those people in those houses, they're happy. They all got a roof over their head, but it all comes from debt. We have 100% financing. Everything is debt, so this is good debt. And what makes a debt good are two very important words: cash flow. We became financially free rather than going back in debt or just spending debt money for anything. But like in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, we play the cash flow game. What we do is invest. That money to invest. In this case, with all the money, instead of spending it, we keep buying more and more real estate and stocks. Essentially, what we do is use debt to generate income to pay our debts. Nowadays, Kim and I have 7 cars. All of them are leased, and we could buy them straight out, but we don't. We don't own the cars. We rent them. That's the difference between good and bad debt. But most people are afraid of that. They are not risking, and they don't know how to deal properly with debt. Probably the most important lesson I learned from Rich Dad was that your money should be working for you, not the other way around. But to do this, you need to be the master of money and not its servant. If you really want to understand how to master money, get yourself out of debt, then with no doubts at all, read my book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is the book that started it all, helped millions of people, just like you, take control of your finances. You will find a link for the book in the description below. Please give a like, comment below with your thoughts if this video was helpful, and let us know. Also, if you want to see more videos along these lines, make sure to hit that subscribe button to our channel and that little notification bell. We never want you to miss a video. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.